Chapter 66. A man of reason searches love. Suetel says, "Well understood, but I would almost prefer not to have understood it. How can I then urge myself to love if I, from my nature, am almost incapable of it? I know only one approval of my understanding in appearance and acts. But love in my heart is foreign to me. Do tell me then what will happen to a person, or how will he recognize that love has become awake in his heart? There must be some sort of sign of realization in life of a person. Otherwise all the love is in vain, for he can perhaps possess it in all its fullness, but not know that such a pull in his life is called love. How does all the whole love serve him then and help him? Raphael says, "Don't you remember then not so long ago, when you were yet a child? What did you feel for your parents then who loved you very much and looked after you as their darling with all sorts of good deeds?" Suetel says, "That is very long ago, but I can still remember some events when I was really so moved that tears came to my eyes. Is such a childish feeling supposed to be love?" Raphael says, yes, that is love. If this is lacking, he has in the end nothing that belongs to life, and such a person is then only a machine of his natural brain, and hardly knows about the being of his very own soul. The love of children must thus be wake again in the heart of everyone who is like you. Otherwise it is impossible to lead such a simple reasoning person into the inner kingdom of life. What use is it to you if you understand everything with your reason, and may not understand your own life, and see how it is, and how it forms and educates itself? What use is it to a gardener to admire in a different garden the luxuriant growth of all sorts of noble plants, but to leave his own garden fallow, and to let the weeds grow as they wish? One should cultivate the beds of one's own garden, clean them from weeds, put the correct dung on them, and sow them with seeds from noble plants, so that at the right time one will rejoice in the luxuriant plants of the own garden. But now nothing more about that, for something new will be now undertaken by the great Master, and that means to have heart and head in the right place." Rebar says, "But tell us, you heavenly one, whether we should not first go up to the Master and thank him for all the goodness that we have received through his great goodness and mercy, physically and spiritually, for enjoyment." Raphael says, "He only looks at the heart. If that is in order, then everything is in order. If he finds you mature, then he will call you and give you the measured wisdom, what you have to do in the future." But now you should keep yourselves ready in your hearts and in all your being. For if he does something, it is meant not only for us in this place, Likewise, not for this country or for this whole wide earth. Instead, it is valid for all infinity and eternity. So it means understand it in its profoundest depth. Understand and keep it in your heart. For every word from out of the mouth which is put in motion by the eternal Spirit of God, and every following act has always the most endless consequences. But now I must leave your company for a time, and must follow the will of the great Master. At this the angel left the company of the 12, and went again to Joso, who now had many a subject to discuss with him. For the much talking on all sides had somewhat confused Joso, and Raphael had now work to do to set his disciples straight.